Have you ever made a decision when you were angry, only to regret it later? We've all been there. It's like our brains go into overdrive and logic just flies out the window. Today, I want to share a powerful story that perfectly illustrates why making decisions in the heat of the moment is one of the biggest mistakes we can make. This isn't just a fairy tale. It's a timeless lesson that can change the way you handle challenges. Let's dive into the kingdom of a young ruler, King Alex. Alex was fortunate to have a mentor named Thomas, a man renowned for his incredible wisdom, patience, and kindness. Thomas guided Alex through the complexities of leadership, teaching him not just how to rule, but how to rule with a good heart. The kingdom prospered under their combined efforts, and the people were happy. But even the wisest among us can make mistakes. One year, due to a miscalculation by Thomas, the kingdom's harvest forecast was completely wrong. What was expected to be a bountiful season turned into a severe food shortage. Panic spread through the land, and the pressure mounted on young King Alex. Seeing his people suffer, Alex was consumed by rage and frustration. His anger needed a target, and he found one in his trusted mentor. In a furious outburst, he blamed Thomas for the entire crisis. Without a second thought, Alex made a rash decision. He banished Thomas from the kingdom, stripping him of his title and honor. The man who had taught him everything was cast out in disgrace. Thomas, ever the humble soul, accepted his fate without protest. He journeyed to a remote part of the kingdom and settled in a small village, living a simple life as a farmer. He traded his royal robes for common clothes and his council chambers for open fields. But you can't hide true wisdom. The local villagers soon recognized the extraordinary mind and gentle spirit of their new neighbor. They came to him for advice on everything from planting crops to settling disputes, and he became a beloved and respected elder. Meanwhile, back in the palace, things were falling apart for King Alex. Without Thomas's calm guidance, the weight of the crown felt heavier than ever. Every problem seemed insurmountable, and every decision felt like a gamble. The food crisis worsened, and Alex struggled to find solutions. The anger that had fueled his decision to banish Thomas had long since faded, replaced by a deep and gnawing regret. He missed his mentor's steady presence and clear-headed advice more than he could have ever imagined. He realized that in his rage, he had pushed away the one person who could have helped him navigate the storm. Desperate to find wisdom comparable to what he had lost, Alex devised a challenge. He sent a decree to every village in his kingdom. Each village elder was to present him with a jar. The challenge was simple, yet impossible. The jar had to be filled with wisdom. If they couldn't provide wisdom, it had to be filled to the brim with precious stones. The villagers were thrown into a state of confusion and fear. How could anyone fill a jar with an abstract concept like wisdom? And for poor villages, filling a jar with gems was completely out of the question. When the decree reached Thomas's village, the elders were terrified. They turned to the one person they knew could solve any puzzle, Thomas. He listened calmly, a thoughtful smile playing on his lips. He didn't panic. Instead, he saw an opportunity. He took a small pumpkin seedling and carefully planted it inside one of the king's glass jars. He tended to it every day, watering it and making sure it got enough sunlight. As the weeks passed, the pumpkin grew and grew until it completely filled the inside of the jar. It was now impossible to remove the pumpkin without shattering the glass. The village elder presented the jar to King Alex. The king was baffled. He saw a jar, and inside was a huge, healthy pumpkin. "What is this?" he demanded. The elder replied, "Your Majesty, here is your wisdom, sealed within the jar. The only way to remove it is to break the vessel that holds it." In that moment, everything clicked for Alex. He instantly recognized the clever, insightful mind of his old mentor. This was Thomas's work. The solution was a metaphor for his own rash decision. He had shattered a valuable relationship in a moment of anger. Overwhelmed with emotion and humility, Alex knew what he had to do. He set out immediately to find Thomas, not as a king demanding his subjects' return, but as a student seeking his master. He found Thomas in the fields, apologized profusely, and begged him to come back to the palace. This story teaches us a fundamental truth. Decisions made in anger are rarely good ones. Strong emotions like rage, frustration, or even intense excitement can cloud our judgment and lead us down a path of regret. True wisdom, the kind that solves impossible problems, comes from a place of calm and clear thinking. When we're faced with a crisis, our first instinct might be to react, to lash out, to make a snap judgment. But the wisest thing we can do is to pause, take a deep breath, and let the emotional storm pass. Only then can we see the situation clearly and find the best solution, just like Thomas and his pumpkin in a jar. So, next time you feel that surge of anger, remember King Alex. Remember that a moment of patience can save you from a lifetime of regret. Thank you for watching, and if this story resonated with you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more lessons on living a wiser life.